speaker, coach, facilitator, Jeanne Muhammad. We hope that by the end of this show, you'll feel empowered and encouraged to live a better you. So take back your pen, take back your life, right here on Keever's Place with Miss Jeanne Muhammad.
Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. Thank you for being with us this evening. I'm Jeanne Muhammad, and this is Inner Peace and Serenity at Keever's Place on the Keever Murdaugh Show and Podcast. Thank you again for being with us. As always, I know that you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to give me some of your time, and I'm very appreciative of that. This evening, the title of the show is Let It Go. And it is about letting go of the things that we worry about. You know, and especially nowadays, what with all the chaos and, with the pandemic and all the things that are stressing us, we worry. A lot of us are very, very worried. Your job situation may have changed. You may have lost loved ones. There are just any number of things that could be causing you stress. And I've talked about it before. And in my book, Inner Peace and Serenity, and this is the book that inspired me to do the show. It's called Inner Peace and Serenity, A Spiritual Journey. And I wrote this book because I know that so many people are stressed and so many people are worried. And I just wanted to add some tips on how to handle that stress and worry. I was researching, and I found that in the research that I have done, that only about 8% of the things that we worry about actually come to pass. Isn't that something? 8% of the things that we worry about actually come to pass. So most of the things that we worry about won't happen at all. So let's go. I developed this little slideshow that will take us through an excerpt from my book. And chapter 7 of my book is titled Let It Go. So I just took a few excerpts from it, and I'm going to read those, and then we're going to come back and discuss some of what I have written. And let's go with the slideshow. Slide number 1. This is Inner Peace and Serenity. Let it go. Let it go. Worry will destroy your inner peace. Worry will change nothing. You got that? Worrying won't change it. It causes stress, and we have discussed what that does to you. You know what stress does. It causes us to not only lose our inner peace, but it causes us to have high blood pressure, heart problems, all of those things that we end up on medication sometimes because of the stress. And stress is real. Believe me, I know. I've had my share of it, and it affects your mind, body, and your spirit. So stress kills. Now, stress is a weird emotion. In the grand picture, worry does not make you feel better, just the opposite. And worry does nothing to directly help the situation. Often it only makes things worse. Because in addition to what you're worrying about, it may cause those health problems, which will only cause you to be going in that cycle of more worry. Worry will add on to worry. On the practical side, worry lets you know that you need to do something, but when we marinate in worry. All it does is cause anxiety and stress, and it can cripple us from acting. Then there is worry that is completely nonsensical. This is the worry over things that we have no control over. And this is something that what most of us worry about are things that we have no control over. I was talking to my son just today, and he was telling me about something that he was worried about. And I asked him the question, is there anything you can do to change that? And he said, no. I said, well, then why are you worried about it? If there's nothing you can do about it, the less energy you put into it, the better it will be for you. Let it go. Things that you have no control over, let it go. Now, this is simplistic in saying this. I know that it takes practice, it takes time. It's a process. I know that in going through my learning to how to let things go, that it didn't come overnight. It's not an easy thing to do. But I do know that with practice and with a conscious mindset, that this and when something comes to your mind that you have no control over, and remember, only 8% of the things that we worry about even actually come to pass. So just think about the things that we don't have any control over. Just think about how we are worried about things that may not even come to pass. We don't have any control over it, and it may never even happen anyway. So, with practice, you can let it go. It takes time, just like anything new that you may be learning. It does take time. Let it go. There are 10 rituals that you can manage and let your worries go. And there are 10, but I just wanted to focus on this one because it is one that I use all the time. I love to laugh. Yes, laugh. Have you a good old-fashioned belly laugh. Just laugh. Find things that you can laugh about because it has been found. When they say, have you ever heard the saying, laughter is the best medicine? Well, it is true. Laughter is highly therapeutic. Many studies have shown laughter to be extremely helpful in boosting overall well-being and reducing stress. According to the Mayo Clinic, laughter relieves the stress state and induces the relaxation state. Laughter soothes tension by stimulating circulation and promoting muscle relaxation. Laughter helps you cope with demanding situations. Laughter releases feel-good hormones in the brain, which promotes mood, eases depression, improves mood, eases depression and anxiety, and makes you happier overall. So it's good to laugh. It's good to be around people that make you laugh. The same son that I was saying was telling me about something that he was worried about. This same son and we love to laugh. We will sit around and we will tell each other stories. And I'm going to get to that in just a moment because I'm going to go to the things, tips on that you can use to laugh more. And then I'm going to tell you about the things that I do. Okay. Watch a comedy movie. Find you one of those good old slapstick movies where people are falling all over themselves and just laugh. some of the old movies are the ones that I like to be the best, the older ones. And I like those old TV shows on Comedy Central where they have some of the older comedy shows. I like the older comedy shows better. I like to watch like Sanford and Son, and I like to watch Golden Girls. That was funny. Betty White was one of my favorite comedians. That's one of my favorite shows. So, or you can watch funny YouTube videos. Go to YouTube. Watch some of the things on YouTube. And this, you may find this kind of strange, but I do like to watch Cat Williams, George Carlin, and Dave Chappelle. They are some of the funniest things. Sometimes some of the stuff they talk about, it can get kind of raunchy. So you can, you kind of have to sometimes put your fingers in your ears if things like that offend you. But some of it is so funny, especially Cat Williams. I mean, uh, when he gets to talking about certain things, it'll just have you rolling on the floor. And George Carlin, now he's an old comedian, but he go to YouTube and look up some of what he did. He will really have you laughing. Um, Go to a live comedy show. I mean, now with COVID, they may be harder to find, but go to a live comedy show. There's nothing like going to a live show where there's a comedian and they have you laughing. And then when you're in a room with other people and everybody's having a good time laughing. So go to a live comedy show. Get a joke of the day calendar. Search for funny quotes. Go Google funny. Just put that in the Google search. Funny quotes, and you will find funny quotes on just about any subject. I do this quite often. I search for funny things, and you can spend time with funny friends and relatives. Now, this is where I want to talk about my son. What we will do is we will just start reminiscing. We will go back and look at the things that my mother and father would say. And my mother and father were funny because we grew up in the country. And if you know anything about country people, they have all kind of weird sayings and funny sayings. And sometimes my father would say things and he would mispronounce the words. And we would be trying to figure out, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? And now my son and I go back and we reminisce about that, and we laugh. We have us a good laugh. We just go back and laugh at some of the things that my mom and dad would say. And some of the things that they said that we thought were funny at the time, we realized that, wow, that was pretty deep, the things they were telling us. Okay, laughter can be found on social media. Many people post funny memes, and images. So you can go to the internet and look up things and search for things that we can laugh about. Because in this time, in this day and time, there is so much chaos going on. So we have to find ways of letting go of the chaos, letting go of the worry. So what we can do, we can laugh and find that inner peace. That's one of the things. There are lots of other ways that we can find inner peace, but laughter is one of the things that it costs you nothing. It will cost you nothing, but it will give you back such high dividends. It costs nothing to go search for things to laugh. Like after you've watched this show, I say go to YouTube, pull up a Cat Williams comedy show, and sit there and watch it. And if you're worried about anything, and if you are now having anxiety about anything, go to YouTube, pull up one of those old videos or and start just having a good laugh. Um, this is my website. I am JeanneM.com. I'm your happiness coach. And you can email me at Jeannie@IamJeanneM.com. My company is Freedom to Live. And my motto is a better me, a better you. So that's the end of the slideshow. But I just still want to have a few moments with you because I have been talking to a lot of people these past week that are really stressing and really worried about a lot of things that they really have no control over. And I want, in one of the other chapters of my book, there's in chapter 8, and in chapter 8, and I'm going to find this chapter and I'm going to just read a little of it to you because I really, you can purchase my book at IamJeanneM.com/store. You can go to my store on my website and purchase my book because Inner Peace and Serenity will bring you happiness. You know, you will find that the more you can let your mind focus on the positive instead of stressing and worried about the negative, that you will be so much happier. You will be so much at peace. I'm trying to find the chapter, is chapter 8. Okay. When you encounter a problem, this is said, working with things within your control, look within. When you encounter a problem in your own life, it's completely normal to look outside of yourself for the cause of the problem. It's natural to look for somebody or something else to blame for what has occurred in your life. And there are two reasons for that. Humans tend to be fearful of what others might think of them, and humans don't like to admit that they are imperfect or that they made a mistake. It takes a lot, but sometimes we have to look within ourselves, do a self-examination. You know, I'm a big one for doing self-examinations. So let's take time to examine whatever we're worried about. Let's look within and see if there is anything that we can do about it. Like I said, most things about our control, and there's nothing we can do about it. But let's look within and see if what we are worried about, if we do have any control over it. And if we have control over it, let's really look at it and be honest about what we can do about it. And if we really have any control, or if there's anything we can do, if it's something that, okay, I'm going to look at this. I'm going to take this as an example. Maybe you're worried about your bills. Now, that's something you can do something about. Even if you've lost your job. There are things that you can do to lessen your worry. And sometimes it takes someone else to help you to understand the things that you can do. Now, I don't really have time to go into all of that as far as the things that you could do if that is one of your problems, but there are things that you can do. And I was there at one time. I can remember when I lost my job. I lost and I had to figure out, well, what was I going to do? Well, one of the first things to go was the cable. That had to go out the window. I didn't need the cable. I figured out other ways to entertain myself. Uh, I figured out how I could cut down on my internet. I figured out how I could cut down on my phone bills. I figured out how I could cut down on my food bill. There's just any number of ways that we can change situations that we're in that we're worried about. And sometimes it does take someone else to be able to help you to figure those out, which is where I come in, being a coach. I'm a life and happiness coach. I'm a holistic wellness coach, as well as an assertive and confidence coach. But I help people maybe sometimes focus on the things that they can do to improve a certain situation in their lives and reach certain goals. And you may need to do that. There are any number of coaches that may be able to help you get on a path where you would be able to figure out what you need to do to overcome a problem in your life, something that you may worry about, something, and they may even help you to realize this is something you're worried about, but you really have no control over it. And I have to say that to people quite often. There was another friend of mine that was worried about something that her relatives were going through, something that her husband and her relatives and his relatives were going through. And she was worried because they weren't communicating with each other. And she had encouraged them to communicate with each other. But as I had to point out to her, okay, you've done everything that you can do. You have made all the suggestions that you can make, and they're not following your suggestions. So really, what other control do you have? And I have this saying about, especially when it's about adults, I will say, they're way past grown. They're way you have no control over most people that are way past grown. So why expend your energy worried about something that you have no control over at all? And that's most people. We don't have control over what most people do. So why worry? Sometimes we just have to let it go. And there's a prayer, a saying that I always see. We pray about things, and we pray about the problems that we have in our lives, and then we continue to worry about them. We pray, and then we continue to worry. And there's a saying that says, if you're going to worry, don't pray. And if you're going to pray, don't worry. In my opinion, if we pray and we continue to worry, that's, in my opinion, is showing a lack of faith. If we're going to pray, then don't worry. Things may not change as fast as you would like them to change. Uh, you know, we're a microwave society. We're used to popping things in the microwave oven, and microwaves can cook meals in no time. And instead of us having to put things in the oven or cook things on the stove that may take a while, we're used to popping things well, you can get something out of the grocery store. It's a fully cooked meal, and all you have to do is pop it in the microwave, and it's an instant meal. And that's the way we are a lot of times with the things that are happening in our lives. We want instant gratification. We're not willing to wait for things to unfold and to flow. So we may jump in and mess things all up when all it takes is just having patience and prayer. So I am encouraging us all to don't worry. Don't worry. Let things go that we have no control over. Examine within yourself and ask yourself, is there anything that I can do about this? Anything. Look at the problem up one side and down the other. Up one side, down the other. And then when you have determined that there's nothing you can do, let it go. Practicing, let it go. Practice it, and I will guarantee you that you will have more inner peace and you will have more serenity in your life by letting things go. I am Jeanne Muhammad, your happiness coach, and this is my store where you can purchase my book, iamjeannem.com/store. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn. All of the social media sites, I am under Jeanne Muhammad. My email is jeannie@iamjeannem.com. And I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm really enjoying this virtual now, where I do a lot of online virtual meeting people, and I'm really enjoying it. At one time I didn't, but that was one of my limiting beliefs that I overcame. And now I just really enjoy meeting people and talking to people online, virtually. So please contact me, iamjeannem.com. Thank you for spending this time with me. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And remember, take a deep breath and let it out slow. Do that 5 times whenever you find yourself worrying, and let it go. Until we see each other again, stay blessed and stay safe.
Thank you for watching Keever's Place, the Keever Murdaugh Show and Podcast. Tune in every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keever's Place. To be a guest on our show, text the word guest to 803-368-3030 or visit us at tinyurl.com/Keever's Place Booking. And watch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire as we're broadcasting in more than 60 million homes worldwide.